Okay, good evening. So we are live across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight with Chris Andreucci. So first off, Chris, the name pronunciation. It's on all your socials. It's on the bottom of your email link. Is it important to have that one on there?
Yeah, it's a bit of an elephant in the room, isn't it, at times? So yeah, it's Andreucci. My family originally comes from Italy, but as you can tell, I'm Scottish, and yeah, that's it, Andreucci. We just got to get it right every now and then.
So the album came out on the 20th of December. How does it feel to have the new album, the new EP out with sort of 6 brand new tracks on there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time coming. I was out in Nashville in December of 2019 to record it, and the plan was to get it out in February of 2020. But as soon as COVID hit and restrictions came into play, people weren't coming into the studio, or they were more reluctant to do a session. So it got later and later into the year, and at one point I was thinking, is it even going to come out in 2020? But we got it done, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. It went really well. It's the exact sound I was wanting, and it's picked up some good feedback so far. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with it.
So how did it feel then releasing during a lockdown in a time where you can't go out and perform the songs live, and you're just really relying on a bit of word of mouth, sharing, and radio play?
Oh man, it's so weird. Like before you would release even a single or anything, and you would book a venue, you would do a release party, you would maybe book a little bit of a tour around the UK. But yeah, this past year has been so weird. So you've just got to take it in your stride, and luckily we've got technology like we're on just now, and Facebook Live and things like that to still have some sort of interaction with your fans and with your audience. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the same at all. Not to have a real proper interaction with someone in a room is just 10 times better than what we're doing just now. But as I said, you can only do with what you can do, and I think we've done well enough with radio play and placement onto playlists and stuff so far. So yeah, I'm happy with the situation that we're in and what's come of that.
So how important has that radio play been to you, especially being on sort of stations like Chris Country and Tim Protty Jones's show? How big is that to kind of get the word out there of this new album?
Yeah, it's something that I'd always kind of been aspiring to get, especially with this record. There's a lot of radio stations out there that are quite hard to get onto, and Chris Country is one of them, and Radio 2, the Bob Harris show. So there's a lot of things that you've got to kind of aspire to as a musician in the UK, and these were some of them for me. And yeah, it's helped out a lot. You're playing alongside some other great talented musicians here in the UK, and I think a lot of people go there to check out the new country music that's coming out. And country music in the UK is growing, massively, and so across the whole of the world, even country music is growing. So yeah, I think it's helped me out just to expand my audience, and it's yeah, as I said, it's been going pretty good so far.
So would you like to get the evening started with a song then?
Yeah, I'm going to give you one that's not on the EP actually, but yeah, we'll give it a go. This is a song called Just a Thing or Two, and it's a song I wrote about if you got a chance to go back and live your life. Would you change it all? Would you regret anything? And yeah, this is the idea behind it. See that picture on the wall, son, it takes me back in time. I was 16 or 17 or somewhere in between starting my life. I think it was in the fall. It only seems like yesterday, but in the blink of an eye, flashes by and here we are today. Now listening close and tell you how it goes out there. Don't ever be afraid to tell the truth and give it your all on the path you choose. Take it slow and time will show what's right for you. You gotta believe that you're good enough. Don't stop praying to the man above. If I could live my life again and start new, I wouldn't change it all, just a thing or two. I know these are different days, but I'll tell you one time more, you gotta go for it. Don't you forget that I've been here once before. Don't never be afraid to tell the truth and give it your all on the path you choose. Take it slow, and time will show what's right for you. You gotta believe that you're good enough. Don't stop praying to the man above. If I could live my life again and start new, I wouldn't change it all, just a thing or two.
Excellent start.
Thank you.
So the album was produced by Justin Cortelli. How did that come around?
Yeah, I mean, so we call him Corky, that's his nickname. So he works on all the Century Music Group projects, and you know, I'd always heard about this guy Corky, but I actually didn't check out his credits or anything until like the day before we were going in the studio, and we'd only been in Nashville for like 2 days to try and like sort out the jet lag before. But when we got there, I kind of walked in the room into the studio, and he just comes over and starts speaking away to me, and he's just a completely normal and down to earth guy. And you know, knowing that he's worked with so many big artists, Taylor Swift, Blake Shelton, Andrea Bocelli, all these great artists, it was kind of like a surreal situation to be in. And even the session players that played on the record, they've got, you know, amazing credits as well. They played in everything, Luke Holmes, and you know, at the time it was quite hard to like not freak out and like fanboy, but you know, it was an amazing experience and one I'll always remember. So
talking of Luke Holmes, you were set to play obviously on the bill at Country to Country. Going back to March last year, obviously you were what, 2 or 3 days away from that happening. What kind of a come down was that in March last year? Yeah, man, it was I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like so like deflating. You know, I actually just graduated. Like I was just about to graduate around the same time from university, and everything was kind of on this like really cool trajectory, and everything was kind of going right. So to have that, I think we actually got informed like 2 days before it for the Glasgow gig. So it was really, yeah, I think deflating is the best way to describe it. But there was another event went on. It was called Country on the Clyde, and it was only in Glasgow, and we ended up going and playing at that, and it was a lot of fun. So at least it wasn't a kind of wasted, but it still wasn't, you know, playing with Luke Combs and on a big stage like that. So yeah, so at least there was some kind of silver lining then to the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a good time as well. I think that everyone really needed it because everyone that had a ticket was able to come along to that event as well. Oh, excellent. Right, do you want to do another song for us? Yeah, I'll give you a song from the EP, in fact. So this is the title track. It's a song called Here Comes the Rain. And yeah, if you want to check it out, that'd be great. It's on all your streaming services as normal. When I was a younger man, I made some mistakes that I had to live with. No one ever understands, and I never got the chance to get through this. My life's been a winding one-way street, full of one-night stands and barroom seats. The devil's railroad I've been on for some time. Maybe I should walk the line. Lord, why do I always take it too far? I'm ready to tell you what the secrets are. So sitting on guard at the end of this long, say
my prayers. Some Tennessee whiskey helps to numb the pain. No matter what I do, I feel the same. Wake up in the morning trying to break these chains. Here comes the rain. As I lie awake at night, I picture it all. As I'm tossing and turning, if only I could see the light. But the candle at both ends is a burning. Lord, why do I always take it too far? I'm ready to tell you what the secrets are. So I'm sitting alone at the end of this bar, saying my prayers. Some Tennessee whiskey helps to numb the pain. No matter what I do, I feel the same. Wake up in the morning trying to break these chains. Here comes the rain. Lord, why do I always take it too far? I'm ready to tell you what the secrets are. So I'm sitting alone at the end of this bar, saying my prayers. Some Tennessee whiskey helps to numb the pain. No matter what I do, I feel the same. Wake up in the morning trying to break these chains. Here comes the rain. Wake up in the morning trying to break these chains. Here comes the rain.
Excellent. So that's the opening track on the EP.
Yeah.
When you kind of decided to do as an EP, was there ever a moment where you were worried about narrowing down the sort of the track listing, or there was a couple of songs you just didn't know what to get on there?
Yeah, definitely. When we initially signed to do the EP with Centric Music Group, it was initially only supposed to be 4 tracks, and we were sat there and we had a long list of 25 songs or something, and I was like, how the hell are you going to get 4? And the thing was, I actually wanted every one of the songs to be on it, and that wasn't really realistic or feasible at the time. So we managed to get it down to 10 or 12, and then we were like, we might as well just book in for another 2 tracks, and we just chose the 6. And right up to honestly 2 or 3 days before we were going in, I was still in my head going, oh, I actually think I want to record that one, and swapping ones out. But I'm glad that we went with that selection. I think it suited the kind of sound I was going for, and the kind of feel and songwriting vibe that I was going through at that period of time.
So with the EP obviously having been written so long ago, as you said, it should have been released nearly a year ago now. Is there any song that kind of hits you differently now after the events of the last year?
I wrote a lot of them when I was in the States. So in 2019, I spent 10 months there. And the second track in the album is a song called Tonight I'm Yours. And it was, when you're on Facebook every now and then, you see a compilation of military people coming back from being overseas and surprising their family. And I'd seen that before, but I'd never seen that in real life. And when I was in the States, we would go to basketball games every Thursday night. And I saw this in real life. There's a mother and her 2 kids. They came onto the court at halftime thinking they were doing some sort of raffle or throwing the ball in the hoop. And the father, he came back in his army greens, and I remember I had a tear in my eye, and I'm not really an emotional person, and I was thinking, wow, to have seen that. And that's a song that kind of stuck with me now, because we can't travel, and everyone's missing things in life, and I wonder how difficult it must be for people that do have family overseas now as well, because it's even harder for people to come back and forward. So that's probably a song that from the EP that sticks with me or resonates with me more now because of the current situation.
Okay, we have a technical question for you. What is the guitar spec? From Steve Stone over on Facebook.
Yeah, so I play a Martin DRS1. It's a beautiful guitar. I've had this for about, 5 or 6 years now. I play it half step down. really just because my vocal range isn't crazy high, but it's not crazy low, and that just kind of suited it for me. I think I played with 11s on it. I've bought loads and just changed them every now and then, but that's the spec for me. And I love it. I love the sound it gets. It's good for just playing and acoustically like this, but even live, it holds its own on the stage. And vocally, if I'm performing with a mic, I use a Shure mic. And there's not too much else to it. I just plug in and play and try and make people happy.
Okay, should we have another song? Should we have our third song of the then? Yeah, let's go for it.
Sounds good. We'll give you a song that I actually debuted on the stream earlier on Instagram. It's a song called Me and My Baby, and it's just really about having, had enough of life as it is right now and wanting to just go away in a white sand beach and just chill out and have a cold beer and just, and that's a dream of mine right now. I'm sure other people can relate to that. We'd had enough of that 9 to 5. I told myself each night there must be more to this life. Lay there dreaming about a clear blue sky, but a care in the world as my life goes by. Darling, we could be out here living free, so let's pack those bags and say adios to this life. I know just where we ought to be. I want a margarita sunrise. I want to drink it under blue skies. I want to spin you on that dance floor, right up to a room door and tell you, girl, there's gonna be some loving tonight. I want to swim out in the ocean. I'm gonna show you my devotion. A little loving in the sunshine, barefoot in the moonlight. I tell you, girl, that nothing's ever felt more right. Me and my baby tonight. Living out here in coastal town, we take it easy and sip a little rum with lime. Kill that ringer on your telephone. Ain't no one gonna stop us beating it long. I want a margarita sunrise. I'm gonna drink it under blue skies. I'm gonna spin you on that dance floor, right up to a room. Gonna tell you, girl, there's gonna be some loving tonight. I wanna swim out in the ocean. I'm gonna show you my devotion. A little loving in the sunshine, barefoot in the moonlight. I tell you, girl, that nothing's ever felt more right. Me and my baby tonight. Nothing's ever felt more right. Me and my baby tonight.
Another excellent one. Thank you very much. So, obviously, as with most singers, the accent kind of disappears when you're singing. So, when you were doing your kind of 8-9 months going around America, what kind of reaction were you getting when people suddenly realised that you're not an American country singer?
It was really weird, because I'd spent a little bit of time there at university, so I'd managed to get out of saying certain phrases and certain words that Scottish people or even British people just say that they don't really resonate with Americans. And as soon as I did that, it made things easier. But you jump up on a stage and just open up with the song, and I often would just start playing, and then after the first song, I'd be like, "Hello, how you doing?" And I swear, it was like something from a movie. If you walked into a bar and you weren't supposed to be in from that part of town, and everyone just turns around and stares at you and stops dead. It honestly happened, and it took a while to get used to the the lingo to use and what to say and what not to say. But it was really cool to be welcomed so nicely by them all. And I think once you go there and show that you're that you love country music and that you're promoting it at other parts of the world, they were really, really nice and warm welcoming me there. So yeah, it was a weird experience, but a good experience.
So do you think it let kind of people realise the similarities between British country music and American?
Yeah, definitely. I think they were actually surprised with it because, you know, there's not too much on mainstream radio over there in the US compared to, like, for us as country music artists in the UK. Apart from, you know, the Shires and things like that who have done so well for us to promote it. So to go there and play it myself, I think it opened my eyes to the appreciation of it from their side.
So you managed to obviously travel quite a lot across America. What were kind of some of the best sort of things you saw while you were out there to kind of influence you?
There was a lot of weird gigs along the way on tour. You know, some, like, there was no guarantee of, like a lot of UK acts that tour the US. There's no guarantee of the crowd. You know, sometimes you were playing to 20 people in a bar, and other times it was like 120 or 150. So that was a weird experience in itself. And quite often the smaller venues with the lesser number of members of the audience were more fun, and there was just more interaction. A highlight of mine has to be my gig that I played in Santa Monica on the 4th of July. That was just really cool. You know, I played a gig for about 40-minute set and then went straight down the beach and watched fireworks and drank beer, and it was just so much fun. So there was a lot of cool experiences and a lot of places that I'm really excited to go back to when things get back to normal.
And then obviously for your sort of first time in Nashville, once you got there, what was your kind of first reaction to it, of being this person trying to make it in the industry?
Well, I soon realized, you know, I landed at the airport with my case and my guitar, and I got in I went to get an Uber, and there was like 5 other guys that they had their cases and their guitars, and I was like, wow, is this just what happens? It's quite a daunting place when you first go there. I'll be honest with you. And the first writers round that I did, I was like, there was 3 American girls on stage with me, and I was the only guy. I was the only guy, and I was obviously not American, so it was really weird. And every other gig you play is usually quite rowdy, loud. It's a British kind of gig scene. You go over there to a writer's round, and it's like a listening room. It's just silence in between the songs, and I was like so nervous. But I think it, like, once you do it once, it kind of gives you this, like, you know, appreciation for what, you know, where you actually are, and you know, that you're capable of standing on a stage and playing with all these other really good writers.
Excellent. So we've got time for a few more songs. Would you like to play one more?
Yeah, sounds good. I'll give you a song called "Begging You to Stay," and this is going to be on the next record when we get around to recording that. Almost every night you have that look in your eye. It's driving me crazy. I'm thinking, oh lady, I'm not wanting you to go away. So pull you closer and soak it all in. When the movie starts playing, I find myself saying every time, girl, I want you to stay. So won't you climb back in this bed and say you want me? Won't you come a little closer, put your head in my shoulder, and love the night away? If I'm honest, girl, I hate it if the night don't end that way. Under the covers of the kind of lover any man would be begging to stay. So won't you stay? Won't you stay? So won't you stay? I just want you to stay. It's happened one too many times here in our crazy life. There's something about you, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have you by my side. So won't you climb back in this bed and say you want me? Won't you come a little closer, put your head in my shoulder, and love the night away? If I'm honest, girl, I hate it if the night don't end that way. another, the kind of lover any man will be begging to stay. So won't you stay, darling, won't you stay? So won't you stay? I just want you to stay.
So that's a brand new track.
Yeah, brand new. It's still not been recorded. We just have a work tape going at the moment. But yeah.
How does it feel to kind of know you've got those tracks kind of in your pocket, ready to record?
It's a good feeling. It means, like, see, when you have any writer's block or anything, or you're going through a patch where you're just struggling to write, it's quite reassuring that you're like, okay, don't force it. You've got material there, and it's quite exciting as well. You know, I've got a lot in store ready to record and release as soon as possible.
So, as a British artist, you're probably one of the very few who are signed to a Nashville record label. How did that kind of all come around in the first place?
It was a weird one. So as I mentioned earlier, when I played the first writers round in Nashville, like I was, as I said, really, really nervous. And I'm not usually too nervous before I play, but I remember I was like sitting there and like shaking and really nervous. And I started playing, and luckily there was a representative there that night from CMG, and you know, he had a chat with us, and the next week we signed the deal. And it was just such a really weird experience because, you know, the music industry, there's a lot of sharks out there, and I was like, I got this contract through and I was ready to just sign it, and then I was like, shit, like something could go wrong here. And you know, we got a lawyer involved, and you know, made sure it was all legit. And yeah, it's a cool experience, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for the position I'm in.
So how's it kind of feel when obviously you read the stories of people who go to Nashville for years and years, play hundreds of shows, and end up having to go home without a deal to have effectively done it in one night?
I think it was just luck. I think, yeah, I think luck's a big part of it. I'm really fortunate to have been there that night and to what's happened. I mean, to have the EP out of it from that we released in December there, it's just, I'm really happy with it. It's just, it was the exact sound that I was wanting. So I'm fortunate and I'm very lucky. And yeah, I would always help anyone out that's got any questions or is aspiring to do something similar to what I'm doing.
So before playing us out, what can we kind of expect then in the coming months? We've obviously a hope of tours returning at some point this year. We're all kind of hopeful of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm keeping busy. I'm writing a lot of songs at the moment. So the hope is to get new songs recorded. The hope is to move out to Nashville. I'd planned on moving out last July, but we're still back home in Scotland living the dream. And so yeah, that's the plan, to get out there to record, to pitch new songs, and really just to try and play a real gig again. I think I've missed that the most, and I'm sure loads of other artists will say the same. There's just something about playing live that you just miss, and I don't know, there's just a really good feeling when you're up on stage. So that's what I'm really looking forward to getting back to doing, recording, playing live, and just meeting new people and enjoying myself.
So other than nights of what, -6, -7 degrees, what is it you're going to miss about Scotland when you finally get to make that move?
I'll be honest with you, Tennent's lager. But I think the gig culture in Scotland and in the UK is really cool. And I've got a lot of really, really good memories from living in Glasgow and playing in Glasgow. So I'm good. It's probably something I'll miss. And obviously my family, but I'll miss Glasgow a lot, and it'll be something that I'll look forward to every time I come back to play a show there and to just have a good time again.
Excellent. Right, do you want to play us out then for the evening?
No problem. So firstly, thanks for having me, and yeah, I'm going to play a song called Hail Mary Pass, and it's quite fitting since the Super Bowl was just on Sunday past there. But yeah, I've been Chris Andreucci, and thanks very much for tuning in. I've been a bad guy once. I've been a good guy too. But sometimes things you don't expect just come out of the blue. I've seen the best of life, and I've seen the worst of it too. And there ain't no rhyme or reason, no matter what you do. You question the saints, you question the sinners, you question why there ain't more winners, why sometimes the good guys come and last. I look back on life and flat out on my ass. The only thing that can save me now is a Hail Mary pass. I've had the time of my life, and I've had a time of it too. And you don't appreciate what you got until it's taken from you. You question the saints, you question the sinners, you question why there ain't more winners, why sometimes the good guys come and last. Yeah, you blink an eye and it's over in a flash. The only thing that can take me back is a Hail Mary pass. You question the saints, you question the sinners, you question why there ain't more winners, why sometimes the good guys come and last. When I look back in life, yes, I had a blast. Cause I finally caught that Hail Mary pass. Cause I finally caught that Hail Mary pass.
All right, thank you so much, Chris, for joining us tonight. It's been great to catch up and great to hear some new music as well as tracks from your current EP and past albums.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, and I appreciate your time.
No, thank you, and we'll sign off there. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and obviously these will be on all our socials.